Hello guys, here comes special delivery Summerslam. While we expect who will win many matches, we still anyway expect quality and class. And meanwhile we are being reminded of SummerSlam's history, we are preparing ourselves for the Roof Blower, which is a match of two viral high flyers, Logan Paul and Ricochet. The real grudge match. None of these two can afford to lose. The cost of losing will be too much. Ricochet had his moment. Logan Paul had his. This was about who's the baddest and the coolest high flyer around. The most interesting is what was happening in the match. The so-called viral moments. There are many. Logan Paul mocking Ricochet's partner Braun Strowman by delivering running power slam. Ricochet paying homage to the Great One by giving everyone the People's Moonsault. Two crazy Spanish flights. Logan Paul's unique Maverick clothesline to outside. High crossbody followed by standing moonsault. Ricochet hitting scary neckbreaker from the top, which first looked like RKO. Also then, in a masterful way, Logan Paul jumped off the second rope into the clutches of Ricochet, but Logan still reversed it into amazing DDT. These two are masters of this craft. Highlight after highlight. Ricochet had ribs problems, and that's why hit shooting star too late, and it only got worse. Then he launched his face into the mat, hit springboard frog splash. Ricochet also didn't forget to show what he's got. Like moonsault off the top rope from the ground up. Ricochet is such a loyal worker that he hit 630 to painfully miss and hit himself. This is what helped Paul, where one of his buddies gave him golden brass knuckles and Logan hit one and the only one deathly right hook knockout punch to win this match. And get his name announced by Samantha Irvin. In other matches we rarely see one of many moves these two performed here. Here we had like 10 of such viral moves. This is how you work and show your passion. The very right finish because Ricochet looked strong and lost not clean. And at the same time Logan Paul finally won a match and did it dirty like a true villain. It's well deserved 4.5 stars. Sheamus arrives to the Ford Field on a monster truck meeting Brawling Brutes. He and Brutes of course will compete in Battle Royal later. Brock Lesnar also arrives with a purpose, marching through the ramp and then circling the ring to fight purposeful, intelligent Cody Rhodes. Every time they fight each other, it's the fight of their lives. They're so equally matched that you don't wanna blink while watching it. It's so interesting you don't want to miss anything. Anyone can have initiative at any moment and it can change just like that. Plus, there is a very big story between them. Despite Cody attacking Lesnar from behind, Brock very quickly shut it down and started to brutally dominate Rhodes. The Beast was having his way like only he could and wanted it. He was playing Cody like a toy and was showing complete disregard about his health and well-being. That's how heartless the Beasts must be to survive. Brock Lesnar was absolutely enjoying playing his Predator game. Brock started disrespectfully throwing Cody out of his cage. He was screaming for Cody to stay down because I quote, "It's only gonna get worse," and "Save yourself," like he was repeating it many times. But Rhodes was still overcoming and getting back into the cage. Lesnar could proudly win via count-out to embarrass Cody, but the new American hero didn't give up. When Brocky was done playing, he hit first F5 onto the floor and second through the American announce table. But the American Terminator got back after 9 again. While being mauled with suplexes, Cody Rhodes ran back to what might work by exposing the top turnbuckle. His big comeback started launching Lesnar into the ring post 2 times and suddenly attacking him with steel steps. What by the way should have been a DQ, but nothing happened. Seriously, do you know who his dad is? That's why. Following 2 spectacular Cody cutters, Brock Lesnar trapped Cody in the Kimura lock and he barely escaped by reaching the rope. Cruelty from Lesnar versus overcoming from Rhodes. Cody launched Brock into exposed area and locked his own Nakamura lock. But it wasn't a big deal for Lesnar and he quickly dropped Cody down to get free. Cody escaped F5 experience and while hitting 3 consecutive crossroads, Lesnar's shorts are already torn apart and are continuing to do so, and that's why it means it's time for Brock to lose and Cody with the win. After the match, Brock Lesnar, thumb in his face, removed his gloves, came close, head pushed him and gave a well-earned handshake and respect. It never happened after his return in 2012. If you get that from Brock Lesnar, it says a lot about you. Brock Lesnar kicked his ass, but Cody never gave up, tore his shorts apart and overcame to earn the Beast's respect. What's next for these two? Lesnar will leave for several months. Cody might easily go for World Heavyweight Championship, but I think there is always going to be someone to distract him from it. Until the Royal Rumble, and eventually he will go for Roman Reigns. Good rivalry, deep story, amazing matches, especially this last one which lasted 17 minutes. Brock's match finally lasted this long and looked good. Nice feud. Rating of it is 4.5. We go back. The ring is filled. The Miz comes out. LA Knight gets his own phenomenal entrance. The last entrant is AJ Styles, and all of this is of course Slim Jim Battle Royal. Yeah, the bell rang. But wait just a second. MVP interrupts everyone and he introduces his own personal colossus. The monster who will win this Battle Royal. Omos. When he finally stepped over the ring, he started throwing everybody out like helpless kids, and despite trying to give him 10 beats, Omos fought back. There were usually eliminations that were closely linked to ongoing feuds. Nothing special. What I want to mention is that I was first thinking, is the champ Austin Theory there or not? He didn't get his own entrance and I first didn't see him in that crowd. But then suddenly I heard his name and recognized him. So he's one of the favorites to win. And it's strange that he didn't get his own entrance here. He gave unique A-Town down to Cameron Grimes to eliminate, but his number one contender Santos Escobar clotheslined him to hell to get him out. Omos eliminated former team of Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. That was a throwback. The crowd hero LA Knight tried to eliminate Omos, but one giant big boot stopped his momentum. Of course the giant got too much attention on himself and it was time for everyone to unite, wear him out and toss him out of this ring. Omos either needs new gimmick or new beginning at least. He needs to get back and start winning important matches to save his career. The Miz and Grayson Waller hit their new tag team finishers Skull Crushing Stunner and Gable, and these two Spider-Men realized it's great. The braggadocious Miz thought he got LA Knight out, but nah, the megastar eliminated him from behind. Also, Styles eliminated his current rival Karrion Kross with Pele kick. LA Knight used all his power to toss massive Bronson Reed out. Incredible. When AJ tried his finisher forearm, Karrion Kross grabbed him from behind and Sheamus had no choice but to take advantage with Brogue kick to eliminate. The last two are opponents from last SmackDown, and LA Knight gives power slam, people's elbow, doesn't hit BFT, gets knee strike, counters Celtic Cross and throws Sheamus off the top with belly to belly, and finally eliminates former WWE champion. Fresh Stone Cold LA Knight rocks with fans, and yeah, movement is stronger than ever. Yeah, he has been winning a lot lately. Yeah, overall this match was made to elevate LA Knight's popularity. Yeah. First he broke through in NXT and was popular there, and this year he did the same here in the main roster. It was taking time in NXT and here, but he did it everywhere. Yeah, he can really talk smarter, faster and better than anyone. Yeah, bad that he didn't hit BFT, but that's okay. Yeah, rating of Battle Royal is 3 stars. Yeah, the baddest woman in the world quickly storms the ring to fight Shayna Baszler in MMA rules match. The grudge of all grudges. Despite me not liking that evil witch Shayna Baszler, I understand that she is tired of being considered bootleg, cheap version of Ronda Rousey, and the only way to fix it is to beat her in an MMA match. No pinfalls, no timeouts. Just fight until someone is knocked out or put to sleep. In various takedowns, in a standing position, they were trying to take the initiative but were first quite equal with varied success. But after a brutal hard knee strike, Ronda started destroying and torturing her to the point where they had to stop for doctors to check on Shayna. But Rousey had enough of this bullshit and wanted her to get up and continue. And that was the beginning of the end for her, because it just fired Baszler up, and after several various submission exchanges, Shayna locked Ronda in Karafuda clutch for good, and Rousey passed out for referee to ring the bell. Easily the worst match of this SummerSlam. The result is trash and the fight itself was very short. It's logical that Shayna had to win because Ronda wants to get out for a hiatus, but this is not how you beat Ronda Rousey. Not that fast and easy. At least if they're gonna push Shayna, she must be a top heel. I'm not buying her as a babyface. Rating of this MMA fight is 175. SummerSlam's attendance is 59,194. Thank you, Motor City. Confident, strong, motivated Drew McIntyre is looking to upset the most dominant Intercontinental Champion, the Ring General, Gunther, who is just 37 days away from becoming the longest reigning Intercontinental Champ ever. Two first-class technical powerhouses have to steal the show. They can create greatness. Just ask Sheamus. Usually Gunther dominates his opponents through the entire match, but Drew is a different fish. He is lethal and was knocking Gunther down hard. Gunther didn't sleep as well and showed that he is indeed on McIntyre's level. Drew dropped powerbomb and future shock, and that wasn't enough. Gunther rolled out from Claymore, but McIntyre didn't let him to rest and jumped outside to land on his feet. Incredible. One powerbomb from Gunther is not enough to keep McIntyre down. Chop fast left no one sensitive. Then suddenly Drew McIntyre was able to hit Claymore out of nowhere, but resilient Gunther powered out to save his legacy. Drew McIntyre's fatal mistake was climbing the top rope with Gunther, where the champion pushed him aside for hardball's landing and quickly picked up with splash, clothesline and powerbomb to finish the match and retain the title. Despite I just saw and knew that Drew looked finished in those final moments, I was upset with how casually, ordinarily it ended. Drew doesn't lose matches clean or in a simple way like it was here. Yes, Gunther was of course expected to win, and I understand. But it had to be much longer match and much tougher victory for him. Maybe with some interferences from Imperium. Also, they needed like 10 more minutes, but it was still good bout. Don't get me wrong. I hope after Gunther gets his record, Drew comes back for successful revenge. Rating of the match is 4 and 25 stars. Made up fictional 7-year obsession continues and Judgment Lightning strikes with Finn Balor coming out on his own, staring daggers into the World Heavyweight Champion and Master of Mind Games, Seth freaking Rollins, who wore the same attire as on SummerSlam of 2016. Finn Balor hasn't even done anything to get this rematch, except losing to Seth Rollins time after time after time. That's a shame that we don't have many credible challengers for Rollins on Raw, and that's why we get Finn Balor again. But it is what it is. After disrespect, Finn jumped from behind and the match started intensively. Balor was so bitter and desperate and he dished out a lot of damage, but because of it he was also making a lot of mistakes, as Rollins was using his outsmarting skills. Finn Balor ran it back and powerbombed Rollins into the outside barricade, but at least Seth is tough enough not to get injured from it. These guys had reversal after reversal to one another. You couldn't find out who's leading. They were so equally matched that they both fell down lifeless. Finn missed Cody'S and Seth struck Pedigree for a kick out. Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. We have company. Damian Priest decided to do it again. And this time to intentionally help his buddy Finn Balor with cheap shot and Pedigree. But Turbo Champ is still in the game. As even Priest wasn't enough, Dom and Rhea came here to distract referee while Damian offered his briefcase to Balor to strike Rollins. But stupid Finn thought that Priest wants to cash in and said he is not taking it. What a genius. It cost him the hard way as the Architect was able to catch him with Corpse Stomp, where Balor somehow kicked out. Seth climbed to the top rope, but there were too many enemies around him, so he understood that it's time to take them all out. And he jumped into Priest and destroyed deadbeat Dominic with Corpse Stomp. But in the ring Finn Balor was waiting for him, and with Sling Blade, Shotgun Dropkick and Deadly Cody'S did not capture the World Heavyweight Championship because via miracle Seth freaking the Architect Rollins kicked out. Even knowing how good and resilient Rollins is, I thought it's over. I really did. But this kick out revived me. Damian was disappointed and tossed briefcase into the ring and started distracting ref, and while Balor was trying to crawl to it, he got smashed into the case with Corpse Stomp, which was victorious. Seth is a true master of this craft. Unsurpassable genius. The same cannot be said about stupid Finn Balor. He was given the victory like 3 times in this match from Judgment Day, but still fucked it up. Again. Priest's face in the end says it all. Meanwhile, Rollins made fools out of them all and proved that they are not in his league. The guy overcame the entire Judgment Day on his own. I hope their feud is finished and Seth will get new challengers. There are some. And the match itself is unbelievable. This was masterclass. Long, intense and dynamic. In my opinion, even better than Brock Cody match. Rating is 4.75. In beautiful robe attire arrives Charlotte Flair. Then the champion Asuka, then the EST Bianca Belair. As it should have been, it was triple threat, complete chaos. Consider that they are all equally matched and you can't take your eyes off or blink. Very interesting. They are all experienced, skilled and have good chemistry with each other. We still have no idea who's more superior, Charlotte or Bianca. And they were equal here as well. It would take very long and hard 1-1 match to find that out. What I liked was very high tempo and very skilled precise strikes and moves at the same time. None of these three were left behind. All three looked strong. The match took its twist when Charlotte dropped Bianca from a great height and Belair took a very bad landing on her knee. It caused her to cry, and doctors took her out of the match. Flair hit spear, Asuka kicked out and then locked figure 4 turned figure 8, but injured Bianca stormed back and even hit 450 splash. She's crazy. Bianca and Charlotte sparked angry brawl. Even with bad leg, Belair didn't give up from figure 8 and Asuka rewarded Charlotte with mist. But then Belair barely rolled Asuka up for the win. Bianca haphazardly got revenge on Asuka and won the title back, but she was spent and injured after 20 minutes of hard battle. And of course I knew that Io Sky cannot miss this chance and her music hit. Io and Bayley ran out, taking everybody out on their way. And in the ring, neutralizing Bianca with briefcase to cash in, hit moonsault and of course win. That's her first women's championship in the main roster and I agree that she deserves it absolutely. Even injured Dakota Kai returned and Damage Control celebrated in full force. And I was happy that Bayley didn't screw Io up, but fully helped her to win. Bayley proved that she is not jealous or egoistical and cares about the entire Damage Control's success. First triple threat and then this was the ultimate battle for women in SmackDown. It had everything there could only be. Asuka lost the title early, but it's Io's time, and also Bianca won one more title for her resume. Fantastic development. Rating of the triple threat match is 4 stars. The last match is the tribal combat for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Jey Uso is born to be wild because he cashes in trying to become not just undisputed champion, but also the tribal chief himself. Roman Reigns is the one who has all this glory now. I like this mega long family saga, but if it doesn't end here, then this will go stale and will jump the shark. Either Jey finally beats Roman poetic justice style and becomes ultra star, or Roman Reigns dominates Jey Uso and all the questions about who's the boss are shut forever. No other members of their family, just Jey and Roman, one-on-one. No one bothers them. Just no counts, no DQ. Pinfalls and submissions match, but a little bit customized in form of tribal combat for this one. It was very extensional, tense, slow, rough, cold, death-like combat. Paul Heyman was begging Jey for mercy because Roman is his blood. Blah blah blah. Reigns used kendo stick to punish Jey Uso, but the latter also employed it until it splintered. In a wonderful highlight, Jey jumped and Reigns caught him with Superman punch. Uso tried to repeat Money in the Bank success with super kick and splash, but Roman Reigns kicked out. One is not enough. So many pauses, unnecessary rests, such a slow development. Give me a break. I don't know what was supposed to happen to wake me and everybody up for that matter. Jey and Roman are just not great opponents. I didn't feel enthusiasm or excitement. Nothing could help. Just for example, Jey slowly, barely climbed to the top rope and then Reigns slowly, barely hit powerbomb in the chairs. Very annoying. At least Jey lifted Roman up on his shoulders and drew him down through the table, Samoan drop. This was something decent. Uso thrashed his enemy with strap, beat him up in the crowd, but that's where Solo returned, who was supposed to be out of action after last SmackDown. Yep, we got fooled again. After dragging, spinning Solo, they wanted tag team finisher, but this time Jey replaced himself with Solo, who got struck by Reigns' spear, but then the big dog got struck by Jey's spear and kicked out. Jey later saved Reigns and Solo from escalating their tensions by driving the champion through the barricade. Later, Jey Uso splashed Solo through the announce table for Jimmy and was followed by spear and splash to Roman. It was supposed to be the end of iconic title reign until someone pulled Jey out of the ring. This has never happened before and here it is again. Who was that? The guy removed his gangster mask. This is jealous Jimmy fucking Uso. This is ridiculous. This is kindergarten. They're sucking all the juices out of the Bloodline saga. I can't take millions meaningless twists and turns seriously. Come on. They fight, they hug, they fight, they hug. I don't know who's the villain and who's the hero in all of this anymore. This is trash. In the ring, Reigns smashed his opponent through the table and pinned him for the victory. Wow. I had no doubts that Roman will remain champion and I can take it. But understanding that after this betrayal from Jimmy this Bloodline saga is very far from over is a blot on the landscape. I want new opponents, new feuds for Reigns. The Bloodline sucked out. But it seems like we are not even halfway there. I was waiting for Randy Orton. Maybe even The Rock. And this would be fantastic. But Jimmy? Jimmy? I'm not buying it. Also, after Roman Reigns' pinfall loss at Money in the Bank, I can't even take him as seriously as before it. He's still the champion, but a very vulnerable champion who's not unbeatable and can be defeated. And this all is likely to last until WrestleMania 40. Rating of the Tribal Combat is barely 3 stars. What about Summerslam as a whole? So many long, storytelling, hard-fought, amazing matches. Brock, Cody and Rollins Balor matches stole the show. Women's triple threat match was nice. But speaking of that, look how strong is Women's SmackDown roster and look how weak Women's Raw roster is. They couldn't even find an opponent for Rhea Ripley for freaking SummerSlam. Awesome SummerSlam, but awful main event. Here are my ratings. Thanks monstrous Motor City of Detroit and see you yesterday. Deuces, Uses.